for the other. So hello guys, we're just speaking about north nodes and south nodes. Yeah, so in the Bhagavad Gita, we want to perform our dharma on the battlefield of life. You know, we want to perform our own dharma, so we need to find our dharma and perform our own dharma as opposed to doing someone else's. You know, and that's not, so your dharma in you know, in Buddhism, dharma means something different. I've got a Buddhist friend, but dharma from our yogic perspective, it means, you know, it's your soul path, your reason for being here. And you know, yoga is self-realization. So what we want to do is we want to find our dharma and perform it well. So what's our dharma? And this is what we use, what we're doing practice for, but we're meditating. We want to be the best versions of ourselves, and be more aware of ourselves, so we can you know, make wise choices. So how do we do that? How do we find our dharma? It's a little bit like, oh my God, why do we not get this in primary school, so we can help understand ourselves and others? Because once you've done that, you'll do it for your kids and your partners and stuff like that. It's absolutely mental. So you'll get that on Cafe Astrology, CAFE, astrology.com. You can actually type in what's my north node. So your south node is where you're coming from. It's your karma. That's like what you're born into in this lifetime. And it's what you find, it's almost like your talents. It's where you feel really comfortable because you've lived lives like that. But you want to move away from your karmic path and move up into your dharmic path. And it can feel a little bit uncomfortable, but that is where the magic lies and what you should be working on to reach your highest potential. So interestingly, my south node, which is my karmic stuff, is Cancer. So that is mothering, looking after people, you know, being, you know, I was doing all this good, being the good wife and making sure everyone else, and I actually brought up my brother, you know, and then, you know, I'm kind of, I have got that caring sort of thing. And my north node is Capricorn, which is where you have to father yourself, be strong, and almost like be an entrepreneur. So, but what you do is with your south node stuff, you don't completely let it go. You can utilize that. So I still want to nurture and care for and hold space for others, but I can do that while I'm performing. So I'm now like, oh my God, I'm running a business now. Oh, but so I had to step into my north node when COVID hit. I think we all, and that was also my astrology teacher says, do your Saturn, where Saturn lies. So you'll find all this in your natal chart when you do a free natal chart. Saturn is basically kind of your challenges in life. So where is Saturn in your chart? And again, mine is in Cancer. So I didn't have a very safe upbringing, and also like my family have been my challenges. And so it's coming away from that and healing from that, but knowing that your challenges are also your opportunities for growth, of understanding others as well. So have a look and see, and if you got any questions on your north node, south node, your Saturn, I've got more information on it, but I'm planning on doing a course that's integrating more tantric techniques and other, you know, and astrology and other things. So you can like kind of find that soul purpose. So I'm doing a lot of studies to do that, to get it right. But just now, if you've got any questions, it actually really, it really melds in so well with your yoga practice. So you can kind of go, and then when you understand, like my children are so different to me, when you find out what your children's north nodes and south node are, and what the rising sign is as well, and your rising sign, that's actually more important. That's what type of person you kind of are to this world. Your rising sign as opposed to your sun sign. That's the kind of old school stuff when you read your horoscope in the Sunday post at your nana's or whatever, you know. So yeah, finding out. So your natal chart thing, the Cafe Astrology explains it, but having a look at that blows you away a little bit. So it's helpful. It's not advanced yoga 100 hours material stuff, but I would say when I started to really delve deeper with this stuff, it really helped me figure out where my path was and what I needed to do with it, and what type of practices I needed to work with to get me there. So it might be helpful to you. And if it's you think, oh, heap of rubbish, that's okay too. Okay, so it's fine and dandy. So how have you guys been getting on? So I know that Vicky, you're on day 2. What day are you on, Jeanette?
Hi, I'm on day 1, if I'm honest.
That's okay. That's what I was saying.
I thought everything, you know, going back to school, I'd have more time, but I've actually appeared to have less somehow. I don't quite know how that's worked. So I sort of diligently sort of downloaded stuff then, and yeah, then it's all gone a little bit upside down. But yeah, I mean, my plan was always to sort of do a bit more. I'm saying over the school holidays because I teach as well. I'm a lecturer as well. But yeah, that'll happen. So there's 3 weeks till Easter, which will give me a bit more opportunity.
And there's no rush.
Get my teeth into it.
Yeah, and that's then go with what feels right. If you go into, because it's really more of a personal transformation journey. You know, I think when you go deeper into practice, it actually gives your own teachings a bit more juiciness. But I think it's important to take your own personal practice further, so then you can give back to your students. And I think this is where what this course is really about. It's about you. This isn't it. And then once you've gone deeper with your stuff, then you can share. You know, so it's less of a cerebral. You know, so I don't give you too much hefty exam type things, because it's really about experiential. It's about it's not so tangible, where you can't really do an exam paper on your own personal transformation. And it's really up to you on what you want from this course and where you want to take it as well. So I'm just here to hold your space. So tonight, yeah, we're doing a Q&A, but it's not that I'm going to do this Q&A and then go, right, bye, see you later. Throughout it, if there's things that come up, I'm always here. So we can do private video calls, because some of it can be quite, intense stuff. Or if you feel it would be quite relevant, because some of you guys might be going through the same stuff, or you might have found that, feel free to share, you know. So like Lisa has been doing, like Lisa's done a lot of the online trainings with me, and she's done where I'm live, and it's a great way to be able to interact and share with each other. So because I don't want this to be even though I've not given you many lives, I think it's important to know that your space is held, especially in working with energy like this as well. But it's about having fun too, as much as it's intense. Like, go in with it, like, oh, here we go, my t-shirt. Go in with it as a curious observer. Yeah, be a curious observer, like, and no judgment on yourself or the practice. And, you know, sometimes if it doesn't feel right, what's the lesson? What's it trying to tell you? You know? So, yeah. So, has anyone got any questions? I think someone who's not here, I don't know if they were, it's not one of you guys, somebody actually asked a question about the tantric stuff, that it was a lecture that I did, and asked where they could find the lecture in the manual. So because the tantric stuff's quite experiential and it's about really feeling it and doing the practices, I've not written a lot of it down. I think that's important. My teachers taught me, and he's been taught orally as well. And I think to keep the lineage quite pure, some of the stuff from the live lectures and live practices, it's not written down, it's not in your manual. The manual is pretty hefty, as you know. So I've given you as much as I can that I feel that would be relevant and important to take your teachings and your own practice further. But the lectures don't go necessarily hand in hand with the manual. They're working together, but on a different level. Because everyone learns in different ways as well. So I'm not, I work with what feels right and intuitively. So I remember years ago when I was teaching a 200 hours course, and I was supposed to be doing something was part of the module that day. And if I'd done that, the energy would be so tamasic and everyone, and I was like, people needed to be held in a different way. So I did something else that day, which was part of the course, but I intuitively did that. And I remember somebody who worked in more of a linear mindset questioned we're not keeping to the modules. So I don't work by this, things are modular, and I don't do it systematically in that sense. The practice is very systematic. So yeah, do that in order, because it's a process. The teachings, yeah, they're a process too. But as a sense for what part of the module, which is the module is really what you're telling Yoga Alliance what the content is, to ensure that they know the content is right. So it's really to keep that right. You're getting the contents in the syllabus, but it's not necessarily in this modular form, because I don't think that's not yoga. It's about experiencing it. And the great thing about online stuff is you can put me on pause when you get sick of my voice, or when you need a pee and you're not going to miss something. There'll be times when you've been to workshops or trainings when it'd be like a really important lecture, but you need a pee. And you come back and you're like, oh no, what did I miss? And back in the 80s when you couldn't put your TV on pause and you miss the crucial point in a movie because you're going to put the kettle on or something. So you could put the kettle on and have a break. So yeah, so work with what feels right for you, but it is in order in that way, but not in the kind of Western world modular form where you tick a box and say, right, you'll feel it at the end of the course. Okay, so basically I didn't record the last session that I did, the last Q&A that I did with these guys, and I've not shared it with you guys because, so I'm not going to share this Q&A, not that there's a lot of us here, but I'm sharing it because I did promise to record it for others. But the last Q&A, it was not more than a Q&A in the sense that we did it live, and it was a progressive thing over 9 days. There was no break, so it was really intense. And what I really want you to work with, and I didn't tell them this because basically I wanted it to be less cerebral, so they didn't have that little seed in their head. So I wanted it to come from Vijna Maya Kosha, their inner teacher, or come from their intuition. On that day, I wanted them to say, what is your mantra? What is your mantra? And they were like, oh, wait a minute. Through doing the 9 days, intense, your mantra will speak to you will have that mantra. And some of them are like, oh, I thought mine was this, but actually, intuitively, as I've been practicing, this is the vibration of the mantra. So we'll be speaking more as you progress along the course. We're going to speak about the vibrational frequency of mantras and how they are a vibration and they're within us all the time. And, you know, not to, you know, people who love mantras, throw mantras around and do loads of them. It's actually more beneficial to work with one mantra and really let it reverberate and really feel that vibrational difference. And then, like, after a few months, or, you know, a lot of the tantrics or a lot of the teachers say give it a year, but what feels right for you, and then move into the next one. I do know that during when the first lockdown, I really adopted the Gayatri mantra, and I did it every day without fail, and it really I can feel it within me all the time. You know, it's like it, and I don't. It's no, I still love it. My favorite mantra, which gave me a moment of samadhi in India, is Om Mani Padme Hum. But there's certain mantras that are locked as well. So work with one that's unlocked, or one that's been given to you by your teacher, which means that it's been unlocked. But as you progress along the course, you'll find that. So I'm working with a mantra just now that's working with the triple goddesses. You know, I do a lot of goddess stuff and rituals, and the goddess has been the Hindu goddesses, the Hindu deities, they've been holding my space throughout this, like the renovations and the, you know, and I feel that's been the right one for me. But you'll find so try not to think it, because you do go, oh, I want to have this one. You know, that one sounds great. You know, don't go with what you want or what you think would be a great one to have, you know. Like after you've done the 9 days and the 9 practices, like really feel and allow it to come to you without thinking about it, if that makes sense. Okay, because everyone was like, oh, she's thrown us a curveball. What's my mantra? What? I don't have a mantra. And I was like, you do have a mantra. What is it? And they were like, came to them, all of them got it, and they were like, oh. And then it was a really, really special time. So it's like, unfortunately, you guys all can't be together on the last day doing the Q&A, because you're all doing it at different times. But you know, once you've hit day 9 and you've had a wee think, please share what your mantra is. I'd love to know. And you'll find when it comes to you without thinking it, you'll know why as well. So I'd love for you to share. That would be great. But only if you feel comfortable with that, because some of your practices can feel quite personal. Okay, so no pressure. So yeah, is there anything you want to ask or need to ask before I set you free? Because you know, it's great to see your faces. Yeah, Vicky.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, just to confirm, I guess, we're just gonna do everything at our own time.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the question sheets and the quizzes and things you've sent in, do we just complete that and then email that back to you?
Yeah, do them as and when, email them to me, and I'll give you a great pass. I don't go deep into, unless it's something that's really wrong or it's a great answer, I'll go, yeah. But you know, so I do read them. It's not like I go, yep. So I read them, and if it's a really great answer and it's like you've really shared, of course I'm gonna speak to you about it. And so again, it's not faceless, but or if it's something that's not right, obviously I'll tell you that. And then for the final assessment, like I do in all my online, it would be you would teach an hour's class in your own authentic style, but what you've picked up from this course. So like really working with, it would be for more intermediate to advanced practitioners. So it's like sharing what you've been practicing and learning on this course in an hour's class that you could teach to your intermediate and advanced students. So find the bav, the feeling, what you want to, you know, I've given you the table of the energetics of asana and the biomechanics, and that's really going to help as well. But also don't lose the essence of your own teaching self. I don't want any clones of me. God, there's one's enough, really, isn't there? So yeah, so really be yourself and share what makes you shine. You know, so yeah. And what my guys have found, it's easier to record it. You know, you can record it on Zoom or whatever, or teach it to your students. You guys are all teachers. Record it and then put it into your YouTube channel, and you don't have to share it to the public. You get the choice to choose public, private, or unlisted when you're saving it. And then, so if you don't want the public to see it, you save it as an unlisted video. Okay. Because if you save it as private, no one can see it, only you. If you save it as unlisted, it means that if you share the link, and what I'd love you to do is share your practice, the link of your YouTube, your hour with the group in Facebook. But if you feel it's too intimate, it's not for you. But I mean, you're all teachers. I think you learn so much from the feedback from each other and from me by sharing and seeing that everyone's different styles and what they've taken from the course as well. And it gives it a good group dynamic as well. So sharing that hour's practice in the group and doing it on the YouTube seems to work easier. And that's just through learning through practice. You know, when COVID first hit, like, I'm such a technophobe. Really, I'm such an old lady. I even get my granddaughter to do stuff for me. So I am like such a wifey. And, you know, so when I first started doing the online stuff, you'd be like recording stuff for my students and then trying to put it straight from my phone onto Facebook, and it'd be like 2 days later, it's still trying to download. So yeah, YouTube seems to be work best, but some people have sent it as a Dropbox link or even a Zoom link with the passcode. So whatever, because you guys have been teaching in different ways, so I'm sharing what works for me. If something else works for you, do that. So I'm not asking you to change the way you do things. That was just if like what my guys have generally done over the past year, but do what feels right for you every time. Yeah. So okay. So yeah, you have a year to complete it. So
brilliant. Okay. I'm going to have to fly, but I just wanted to hop on and say thank you. I will probably be in touch, I imagine.
That's great. Yeah, because I'm looking forward to, I think what I will be doing is I'll probably have a private video call with you all, because it's a hefty course and it's quite intense. So I want to check in with you. So when you're ready to check in with me, give me a shout and we'll arrange something, as opposed to me, hello, do you want to speak, when you don't have time and you're like, oh, for God's sake. So I don't pester anyone. Come to me and we'll set something up. So have a lovely evening. So, and Vicky, do you have anything else to add? Because I can set you free into the wilderness as well and say bye to both of you. Thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the course. I hope you don't get too sick of my voice and my weird chat. And but yeah, ask as many questions as you need to. Or if you feel that you've not got enough of something, you want something else, or really I'm not going to take anything personally. I need to know if something's not working as well. Okay, so really be open, because I want to hold your space and be there for you as well. Okay, so have a
Okay,
lovely
thanks.
evening.
Great.
Lots of love.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice evening. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.